Hey, it's Bitty Penny. Welcome to my channel. I hope you guys are doing great. Happy Saturday. Oh my goodness. I had an accident refilling my Memento Tuxedo Black ink yesterday morning. I made a mess, a big mess, and got black ink all in my finger. But I'm happy that my ink pad is refilled. It's probably going to make a mess for a long time. This is probably going to be a messy situation for a long time. I'm going to give y'all all a minute to join, and then I know I'm early. I usually come live at 8 a.m. on Saturdays, but I have a lot of things I have to do today that do not include crafting, so I had to come on early. I've got an 11 o'clock appointment. We got to leave at 10:30. I just got all kinds of things going on. I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of work to do. So, I've got my tea, and it's the Grinch cup today. I'm not feeling Grinchy, but we're going to talk about arches. I watched Craft Roulette last night as much as I could before I had to go run more errands. And because I haven't had any time during the week to take care of things. So last night, Sparkleheart and I were going from place to place, picking things up for my conference. Okay, so arched eyebrows, what's that all about? Well, last night was Craft Roulette in episode number 270. The Grinch is filled with matcha. It's delicious. Okay. Last night was episode 270 on Craft Roulette, and the parameters were, well, two of my favorites were included. Like sometimes I like to, just look at the parameter list and then think to myself, like, which ones would I pick? And definitely A7 and 1980's colors. So the project was A7, the colors were 1980's, the element was interjection, which, Mary, kiss your brain, that is a fabulous element, and then include an arch. So I would say Sue, the guest last night, had some really great parameters to work with. So I went through my stash a little bit this morning and I picked out arches because I thought, let's talk about it a little bit. Let's make a Craft Roulette card. I'm terrible. I should, submit cards more often and do all those things, but I don't. So got to throw that lollipop away. All right, so I just kind of went through to gather some items to give ideas to you guys about arches, and then we're gonna make a card. So let's do this thing. And then I really want to make some junk journal ephemera, but we'll just see what time we have, okay? I'm not sure where the morning is gonna take us. Hello, Miss Maddie, and good morning to you. And hello, Sandy Peppers. Welcome, welcome. So glad you're here. Hey, Beth. You thought it was a horrible bruise. Yeah, my daughter's like, Mom, you need to go get your nails done. That's not going to look right for your conference. That would be a horrible bruise. Or it looks like I worked on a car last night. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Good evening to you. I bet you and Scott are already probably had dinner at this point. Hello, Miss Vicky Reuter. Good morning. Oh, you're going to Amarillo today. Nice. Enjoy that. Little road trip with your grandson. How wonderful. We're going on a road trip next weekend for Father's Day. We're going to Kima Island again, my husband's favorite restaurant. in the world is in Kima Island, or on Kima Island. So we're going for a day trip to take him to his favorite restaurant and come back, which is hilarious because my godfather, he used to love this restaurant. I grew up in North Texas. Anyways, he loved this catfish restaurant in Oklahoma. And we would go there for dinner sometimes, just drive to Oklahoma to go get him his favorite catfish and come back. And that's exactly what we're doing for my husband. It just cracks me up. And both fish, which is funny. Very, very funny. Miss Norma Watson. Hello. Miss Norma is just getting her channel going, you guys. If you want to go give her some support, you know, definitely check her out. And hey, Paige, how's it going? Good morning. Yes, dinner is done and dusted. I bet it is. All right. Well, let's jump into this. Grandson got the full Oklahoma experience last night. Tornado sirens were going off at midnight. Nothing actually happened, but a trip to the storm cellar. Oh, goodness. Yeah, that sounds about right, Vicky. Hello, Teresa. Okay, so let's jump into this. First, Beth was like, sometimes I want to play along with craft roulette parameters, but she's not a card maker. She's a junk journaler. And I'm like, you can totally do junk journal pages. They won't judge. And Beth, I was thinking of you because we're going to discuss arches today, which was one of the parameters. But I was thinking of you when I was gathering my supplies, because if you were going to do a junk journal page, first of all, there's no rules. But if you wanted to submit it to Craft Roulette, you basically just have to justify it if it's not obvious. And the justification can be very simple. But like if you got A7, it doesn't say A7 card, right? It just says A7. Which you could put an A and a 7 on your journal page. You could cut a 5x7 piece of paper and put that on your journal page. I'm sure there's a million different ways you could cover that parameter without actually making a card. And then you would just use 1980s, interjection, or include an arch. And then if you don't want to play along, well, you don't have to, but if you're looking for prompts, like Beth and I made those crafty cards together, the crafty prompt cards, go to Craft Roulette. They are constantly, Mary is constantly changing her prompts, and she has so many. So definitely check that out. So let's talk about arches real quick and let's make something. I thought this was a great example of an arch. This is from Red Lead Paperworks. But it was fun to go through and see arches in my things. I thought this one was really good. I went through my Close to My Heart because Mary started in Close to My Heart in her card making. She was a Close to My Heart, what did they call them? I don't know. Creator for a long time. This one's called You've Got Flair. Now, Close to My Heart is not even open anymore, but I loved their stamps. I thought they were impeccable quality, really cool designs. I loved Close to My Heart. Anyways, look around. You may have some things like this. These definitely have arches, so that would have worked. I know someone mentioned last night like an arched bridge, which would totally work, an arched doorway, or even keys for that matter. Or this tree has kind of an arch in it, really. So I think that that's fun. Someone in the chat last night said arched eyebrows. So that's what cued me to drink from the Grinch today. He's Craft Roulette compliant. I thought, seashells This one has an arch, depending on how you put it on your paper. I thought you could, if you just have flowers, you could build an arch very easily of flowers and put an arch design. Someone said your sentiment can be arched. Most definitely. The top of someone's head, that crown, the crown could have an arch in it. Good morning, Kat. Hey, Sala. Hey, Sharon. Oh, blessings, Sharon. So sorry. We love you. I hope your father recovers quickly and fully. A full and quick, speedy recovery. This obviously is a perfect arch, but think about your circle dies. If you cut one in half, bam, you have an arch. This kind of has an arched design to it. Really different, very cool piece. I pulled out a circle just to demonstrate. You just cut that and, you know, half a circle, that's an arch. What about hearts? I mean, hearts kind of have an arch, right? They have two. I think it could work. I think you could justify it. An oval, you don't have a circle, cut out an oval. And, you know, if you were like, oh, I wanted to do a rainbow, but I don't have a rainbow. If you had an oval, this die could be a rainbow. You know, you could turn that into a rainbow. And just cut it in half. I think butterfly wings, you know, they're arched butterfly wings. So if you have a butterfly, that would be a great arch. And then I actually have this Zenspirations from Joanne Fink. It's called Borders, but definitely it has arches, right? So cool. So cool. So I just kind of went through, had fun going through my stuff this morning and thought, let's do arches. Last night in the chat, my favorite part, one of my favorite parts, I mean, I love craft roulette, okay? It's no secret around here. But one of my favorite parts is when everyone's giving their ideas, when Mary first spins the wheel and the first 4 parameters are decided, then the whole chat lights up because it's a live paper crafting show. The whole chat lights up with ideas and arched bridges, arch enemy. What else did they come up with? The arched eyebrows. I can't remember if it was Deborah or who it was, but someone came up with like the arch in the foot. So a high heel, you know, it's got that arch, that real pronounced arch. That could totally work. So many good ideas. I just love that part of it. One of the craft roulette's parameters was envelope a little while back, which I turned into an accordion envelope junk journal type thing, which was a lot of fun. Yeah. Oh, Paige, that's so cool. I love that. Hey, Kim, good morning. Hi, Cordelia. How you doing? Lots of arches. That's right. Kat was going to come meet me at Paper Ganza, but the tickets sold out. Kat, man. I was really bummed. I would love to see you again. Well, let's get this craft roulette card made. And I wanted to show you how I make a rainbow when I don't have a die. It's very easy, okay? There's nothing complicated about it at all. First, you just decide what size. If you're going to make a card, it doesn't have to go on a card, but if you're going to make a card, you need to already have your card size, like a piece of paper cut to your card size, okay? So if it's going to be a 5x7, I would get a 5x7 piece of paper. If it's going to be an A2, I get an A2 piece of paper. In this case, I'm going to pull out one of my nice big index cards because all I'm doing is making a template. So let me cut this down to 5. Oh, it's pretty much 5. Okay, cool. We're good there. And then the length of it doesn't really matter. I mean, you wouldn't want it longer than 7, obviously, but I'm not going to have it the full height of the card. You could, but I'm not going to. So I used to have a series on my channel a long time ago. Bye, Linda. Oh, have a great day. Don't get too hot out there mowing. Okay, I'm going to cut mine down a little more than that. And then this is how simple it is. If you want like a wonky rainbow, cut yourself a wonky rainbow. I know, this is like, is this really a tutorial? No, I'm just showing you how you can make something without a die and still make it super cute. So already we've got these 4 arches, and then I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to arch it. So I really just need to arch it right up here. And they'll all like nest inside of each other. Now, obviously you can take this, last night Sue made a rainbow too, but you know, you could take this, if this is regular paper, you could color it. Let me flip it over. You could color, ink blend each one, use paste, do whatever. But you basically, essentially, you can make a rainbow, or you can make an arch without having, you know, dies or whatever. Which is why I also brought out those stamp sets, because you can definitely do it from those as well. You can do a flower arch. I'm having a hard time deciding what kind of card I want to make because I have so many ideas. With these parameters, I feel like I could just make a whole set of cards. But, you know, you can just ink up your stamps like flowers. Most people have got flowers if they like them in their stash. And you could totally just ink these up into an arch shape. That would totally fly. So, if you don't know what Craft Roulette is a paper crafting game show, basically, here on YouTube. It happens every Friday night, 6:30 Central Standard Time on the Craft Roulette channel. And Mary is the hostess with the mostest, and there's always a guest. Sometimes there's more than one guest at a time, but there's always a guest, and they spin a wheel, and I don't know, there's over 300,000 possible combinations with all the parameters that they have, and they spin a wheel, and then they craft, making a project, typically always a card, using those 4 parameters. And then what's so fun is the chat, and there's a whole community around it. So if you become a member, you can have access to different lives that are just for members only. There's, I want to say, and there's a Facebook page. I'm not on Facebook, so, but I think Mary has it started on Facebook. So I'm pretty sure she still has a Facebook page. There's a Facebook page for it. There's a members part of their channel, and Mary's son is just a dynamic producer, and so the show is like really well produced, very well organized. There's always prizes to win. If you have to submit a card to get entered into the prize drawing, but there's prizes. The community is strong and wonderful, so supportive. It doesn't matter what your level of crafting is. You can be a beginner. My husband made his one and only card that he's ever made in his life on Craft Roulette live. He's never made a card before that. He's never made a card since then. But yeah, it's just really, really cool. So I just stamped this on scrap paper, but essentially, you know, you could take your flowers and create an arch. I just thought, oh my goodness, I have to play with this with everybody today because it's just too much fun. You guys, I think we have the ick in our house. My daughter has been coughing and coughing and coughing. Bless her little heart. And I'm trying not, hoping not, it's not gonna come to me. I have a conference with over 200 people coming. And I'm the organizer. I'm the presenter. I got to stay well. So say a little prayer for me. She doesn't have a fever or anything. She doesn't have body aches. She doesn't have a headache, upset stomach, sore throat, none of that stuff. She's just coughing a lot. So I think it might be allergies. I'm hoping it's allergies. Oh, Maddie, that would be fun. Sparkle Heart would never. She will not. But yeah. Actually, I think my son would. My son, Young Z, I think he would. And he's a dynamic crafter, you guys. I think he would come on. So let's play with this a little bit, maybe with the flowers. Let's see, 1980s colors. I loved that parameter, the 1980s colors. That would be the color palette that I would choose if I was on and they were like, okay, what would be your ideal card? I would definitely choose that one. Okay. I need to stop talking and start working. Another thing that you can do is make your own arched sentiment. If you have, these are just little kids blocks of, I bought them for $2. But these are little kids stamps, wooden stamps. But yeah, you could stamp out your sentiment in an arch. Just so many possibilities, endless possibilities. We're gonna have to do a little die cutting, y'all. Are you being affected by the wildfire smoke right now? I don't know, Paige. I didn't know there was a wildfire. I'm so out of the loop. I find the news to be incredibly disturbing, so I just stay out of it. I don't like the state of our world right now, so I have no idea what's going on. Okay, when I think of the 80s, girlfriend, I 100% think of neon colors. And I think it's going to be fun to mix neon colors with, like, you know, these elegant dyes. I think it's going to be a cool kind of clash. Now, I was wanting an interjection that was like rad or gnarly or something like that. I don't know that I'm moving in the right direction, but we'll see. We're just going to have some fun. Get your eyeballs adjusted. Here we go. Straight into neon. because we can. And we should. It's the 1980s. I always say my philosophy is on the 80s, the 70s was just brown. Everything was brown in the 70s. I mean, the couches, the refrigerators, your stove, your clothes, your car. I don't know. When I think of the 70s, all I see is brown everywhere. So I think when the 80s rolled around, people were like, I'm ready to have a good time and I need color in my life. And so they said, okay, let's do neon. And I was just a kid and I loved it. I loved it. And I have loved neon ever since. So we're just gonna go full into it. Just gonna dive straight in. This is a cool dye right here. Now, I'm kind of thinking, and if you're over the girls and the kids and all the things I've been using all week, I'm sorry, but we may have another one pop up. And then let's maybe cut one more out. Let's do purple. I'm not worried about my colors being in rainbow order. That's not my objective. That's not my goal. So I'm just having fun. Girls just want to have fun. Speaking of the 80s, oh my gosh, I loved that movie with Helen Hunt and Sarah Jessica Parker. Girls Just Want to Have Fun. That was like the anthem of my life. Okay. I've adopted it ever since. I thought, oh, yeah, that sounds good. I think I'll make that my whole life objective, that I just want to have fun. Sounds good. Hey, Cheryl. Oh, neon frills. That is awesome. My mom wanted to dress me like Little House on the Prairie. But my mom was cool. She listened to Prince and Madonna and everything, and she eventually got it. I got to wear my acid wash, and the main time that I had to dress like Laura Ingalls was we had the Texas Centennial, and my mom was the city secretary, and we had this big float. It was a really good experience, actually. We worked on that float for so long because we covered it in paper flowers. There are so many times in my life I'm like, how did I not know I was a paper crafter sooner? That would be one of them. Anyways, yeah, we worked on a float, and then I had to be on the float. I think all those can go through my little one. We'll bring out my little Gina K die cutting machine and put it to work. Need to earn its keep. Anyways, my grandmother made the costumes for that float. And I had such a sour face because I didn't want to be in front of my entire town dressed like Laura Ingalls with a bonnet on and a brown flower dress. As an adult, I can say, oh my God, what a precious memory. As a child, I was like, they're trying to kill me. This is not the look. I had such a sour face. Me and my cousin. My cousin Amanda was there. We were both roped into that situation. Oh my goodness. I thought my mom was going to disown me for behaving that way. She wouldn't have been wrong. I'm going to go one more time, tighten it up just a little bit. This is an intricate die. Brown dress in the 80s. Again, they didn't know yet. Brown was over, but my grandmother was being historically accurate. So hats off to her. But I thought my dress should be hot pink. So, all right. Perfect. I need to get this die out. I need to run this through like so. Desiree's going to have me on her channel, like not this weekend, and we don't have a plan of when. But she's going to make me do die cutting, so I need to get my practice in. I'm fine now that I have my favorite machine back up and operating. What had happened was I bought the Gina K magnetic situation that she made for her die cutting machine that's like this, because they're the same manufacturer, so I thought it would all be good, but it wasn't. And so I just had to go back to my machine the way it was sent to me, the way it's meant to be used, and I'm fine. And they make magnetic plates for this machine now too. So if you have the Bera Craft, they have magnetic cutting plates now. I don't use them. I broke down and bought this blue tape from scrapbook.com, which I like, the mint tape. Anyways, once I went back to using my machine the way it was meant to be used, I haven't had a problem die cutting since. Okay, so we've got that. I could put these away. I'm going to get out my little machine now, and y'all can just watch me die cut. It's going to be so much fun. Jill Pounds. Sonia Krill. Browns and orange. That's right, Jill. That was the 70s. Let's see. Here she is. All right. Perfect. Hey, Lindaville. Yeah, so it is, it has gone up in price. What hasn't, right? It's a little more expensive than it used to be now, the Bera Craft machine. I got mine for $109. I think now it's, I don't know, $129, $139. But it's not a knockoff. It was original. It was the original one. So I didn't feel bad getting it. And it just saved me some cash and every time I tried to order the Gina one, it was sold out. So I've been I've had nothing but die cutting woes since I started crafting, and it has been nothing but a dream to use that machine. An absolute dream. I love it. It's worth every penny, especially if you've ever struggled like I've struggled with die cutting. Okay. We're going to die cut it this way this time. what are we going to say when they do away with a penny? These kids aren't going to know what we talk about when we say it's worth every penny. They're going to be like, what's a penny? What's cursive? I have the best cursive story. I'm never going to forget it. When I went to buy, I went to negotiate for my husband's car. He sent in the negotiator. Mwah. And I wrote down on paper what I wanted, and they couldn't read my handwriting because it was in cursive, and no one in the dealership knew how to read cursive. They ended up finding a mechanic in their shop that could read cursive. I'll just never forget that. Looky there, we've got neon colors. This is going to be fun. So already we'll be able to make a 5x7 card, because that's what I do. And we're going to have arches. We're going to have neon colors. Now we need an interjection. Hey, Pom Pom. I know, it is crazy, isn't it? It's hilarious. This dude and I kept going back and forth, and he's like, I could tell he wasn't prepared for who came in the door. And he's like, fine, just just tell me what you want. Just write it on a piece of paper. Give me a list of the things you want so we can make this deal happen. So, and he couldn't read any of it. He came back. I joked with him so hard. I was like, you know, I could have written anything on there. Now I realize, because it took him so long. Poor guy had to go. I don't know how many people he had to talk to. I didn't know if he was ever coming back. I thought I gave him my list of demands and he left the building and quit his job. Turns out he was just looking for someone who knew how to read cursive. Hey, Di. And I was joking. I could have said anything. I could have requested anything at that point. Oh, and I got what I wanted. First of all, my dad was, he used to call me his swamper. I went everywhere with my father that he would take me, and he would take me just about anywhere. I grew up following, I was always in his shadow, he would say. He was 6'4", and I'm only 5'2" now, so you can imagine I was just tiny. And I was always following him around and watching him take care of business. So when it comes to taking care of business, I saw him negotiate my whole life. Just send me in. My husband knew. My husband's like, I'm going to go to work. You go in and negotiate and get me that car. Okay, babe. I got you. All right. I do really like these flowers, and I think it'd be really interesting to add some black and white. So let's do that. We got to disguise the fact that I did not die cut this perfectly. It's misshapen. So we're going to have to disguise that just a wee bit here. Let me get out a 5x7 card base. I don't want this one. Hold on. Oh, shucks. That's all I have left. Okay. Sometimes I actually think back to that negotiation and I think I could have done better, but I did pretty good. At least I walked out with the car he wanted and the things that that I wanted. So, but I could have done better, probably. I maybe didn't hold them to the fire the way I should have. My brother and sister-in-law are buying a new car this weekend. Such a process. Okay, so we've got our 5x7. Got our arches. We've got 1980s colors. We're gonna have to bring in and sentiment, but let's do this card first. I'm thinking about the stamp sets I pulled out. I really liked this one. You've got flair. Let's stamp some of this in the background. Stamp a background. We'll have more arches. And then let me pick some colors. I think I want that kind of like, ooh, this lagoon blue or coastal storm. I think we'll add some blue to it. So how are all you guys doing today? I hope you're doing well. I'm about to coffee dye a few papers. Nice, Sala. Very, very nice. Ooh, I really like this paisley. Again, the 80s, right? Paisleys are very 80s. I feel like, but I know they go further back than that. Lagoon blue. You know what? I am going to stamp this on one of these index cards and cut it down. I just don't like, I really don't like doing things directly on my card base. I like to work on a card front and glue it down on my card base. I've been that way. When I started making cards, everybody made one layer, it seemed like. The trend was all these one layer cards with very detailed coloring with alcohol markers. And when I first started, it would just ruin my card bases. So what that taught me is to work with, I should have cut this down. Well, this is 5 inches. I know that. Okay. To work with a card front and then glue it to your card base. That's what that taught me. Let's use a different one. Tons of layers when you started, Dawn. Dawn, did you start in the 1900s? I'm definitely, I think, very much a 1900s kind of card maker because I like to use twine and buttons and layers, layers, layers. I feel like card making is going back to that a little bit, not the buttons and the twine. They're too minimalistic for that, and that's fine. But at least they're starting to work with stencils more, and their die cut layers and stuff. I feel like in a way it's kind of going back to that. So we're just going to make our own pattern paper here. Ooh, I really like this coastal storm. That's cool. All right. Yeah, what I found, I transitioned away from real simple cards. I transitioned away from creating what I was seeing most card makers do because it was always cutesy and it was always pretty simple. And I would give or show my cards, and people just be like, yeah, you know. And then I would make something more layered, like what I do now, and people responded more to that. It's like there there was more to look at, or I don't know, more detail or whatever that people in the open. And I'm not talking about like family. I'm talking about like I was doing craft fairs and stuff. Um, and I just got more response from more detailed cards. Not that anything is wrong. If you're happy making cards, then you're doing it right. There's no wrong way to make a card. There's no wrong style. There's no right style. I just found like if I was going to be selling them, that was the feedback I was getting. That was the kind of interactions I was having. But there is no, I don't ever want to inadvertently like suggest there's a right or wrong way to card making. If one layer cards, ink coloring and ink blending is your jam, you should totally do that. And I'm sure it's amazing and beautiful. I don't want to be that person. There's just no wrong way to make a journal or make a card. Unless you're not happy, then you're doing it wrong. You should be happy doing it. Otherwise, there's no wrong way. And that is my PSA for the day. John, it's a process, my friend, and I'm sure your cards are, I've seen your cards for one, okay? I'm not even guessing at this point. Your cards are awesome, John. Don't you talk yourself out of that. And it's a process. And you know what? In 5 years, I might be saying, oh, I don't want to do anything but stamp and color. You know, it changes. Because can you imagine picking a hobby and just doing the same thing forever and never changing your style and never growing and never evolving? That doesn't sound like fun. So embrace the journey, my friend. It's a fun one. I cannot wait to see you and Jill Pounds. All right. This is our background. Oh yeah, that's 80s for me. That's screaming 80s. Okay, we need to stamp up these stamps. You always have to make bigger envelopes for your cards because you add so many layers. Yeah, there's that. All right. If you wanted to Google the You've Got Flair, it's close to my heart, and it's D1351. If you were just like, I'm going to find that on the internet, you might be able to. There's probably some people destashing it. I found mine on the internet through a destash. All right, let's add some of these gorgeous flowers. This one, what is this one called? Oh, I think I put that in the wrong envelope. I did. Okay. This one goes over here. Okay. Yeah, Cheryl, me too. And that's why in my 5 cards, 1 kit, I decided if I was going to bring back 5 cards, 1 kit, which I am, then I wanted to do different styles, like a clean and simple, a fun fold, one from scraps, one from a sketch, because it's fun. It's fun that way. All right, let's get a hot pink, maybe. I love all cards, you guys. When my husband buys me a card, when my kids make me a card. Oh, I haven't shown y'all my Mother's Day cards. I should have done that. Anyways, there is just no wrong card for me. If you've bought me one, if you've made me one, I love it automatically. There's just no wrong card. Right. I don't know these colors very well. I think that's too light. Let's try this one. That's basically the same color. I don't see a difference. Okay, great. I think we're gonna have to do black and then paint it. Jill says I need to try the monthly sheet load since it's a 5x7. Yes, it is, John. I inspired and collaborated with Alicia this month on the sheet load, so it most certainly is a 5x7. And next month, there's going to be the same or similar design, I should say, but it's going to be an A2. So something for everybody. Ooh, this stamp pad is stamping beautifully now. I had to re-ink it. Ah, beautiful. Oh, good, Linda. Cool down. Drink some lemonade, some iced tea, something like that. Water. Water is always a good option too. I'm going to try to stamp back over. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay. I want to give myself plenty of little flower options here. We don't need this many. But as long as I'm here and stamping, I might as well, because I really like this, the way these are designed. That's a lemon, by the way. I wanted to use like rad, gnarly, some of those kinds of sentiments. We'll see. I wanted an 80s sentiment to go with the 80s colors. Let's clean up some of this ink, or else I will get it on everything. Oh, Diane, you still don't speak fluent. Yeah, I started junk journaling and card making at the same time. But I would say I'm chiefly a card maker. And I think that comes from my desire to sit down, make something, and be done with it, because I have this part of my personality, or maybe it's a fault. I don't know. But when I start something, I want to finish it. I don't like leaving things unfinished. And I like to start and stop at once. I also don't want to spend a ton of time doing things. So I stamped that in the Memento, which means I need to color it with alcohol markers. I never do that, but I can. So let's get some, hopefully these will work. Let's do some yellow. I think most of my reds are dried up. Here's some pink. We need some green, preferably in neon. Usually make A2 because it's easy, but I've been on 5x7 for a few weeks and 6x6, but hate paying the extra postage. Yeah. I need to make more square cards because they really are cool and they're totally different. I would say if you're ever stuck, and I think I always say this, but still, somebody needs to hear it. If you're ever stuck, if you just feel a little burnout or stuck in your designs, try a different card size. It's amazing how it kind of unlocks your creativity. It forces you to, you know, do different moves, try new things. I think it's a really great way to get out of the funk. So if you always make 5x7, make an A2. If you always make A2, make a 5x7, or, you know, 6x6, make a 4-bar. I got to get back on my 4-bar kick for sure, because those were so much fun. Look, y'all know I never color, so take it easy on me. It's not my thing. I can, and I will, but it's not really my thing. Oh, let's do this one at the same time. We're going to leave a white highlight. Guys, I think I'm ready for my conference. I don't know. I sure hope so. I don't even know what a sheet load is, Cheryl. Oh, Diane. Let me pull out my sheet load, friend. This is a sheet load. Sheet load is a free sketch that it's Call Me Crafty Al. She is the sheet load person. She came up with it. It's her thing. This is number 70. She has 70 sheet loads. And it's a free template that gives you a card design. So this is the one that we did together. See? And she gives you the cutting guides too. But it makes a whole group of cards. So like this month's makes 4 cards. Sometimes it makes 6, 8, 10, 12. It just depends on her brain and what she's doing that month. And it's just a whole lot of fun. But yeah, it's a card sketch. And Diane, I need to make another video and keep it regular. But I use those card sketches to then decorate journal pages. So I've been making blank journals that don't have any, you know, printables or any decoration to the page. And then I take card sketches and decorate plain journals. So it doesn't have to be for card makers only, is my point that I'm trying to make. You could totally use it. I have a glitch in my brain. Maybe y'all can help me out with it. I know journals are important and they're fun to make. And I think it's because of journaling and collaging that I'm the card maker that I am today, that I've in the style that I am today. It's because I have this passion for collage that I've always had. And then I have this passion and joy. I wouldn't say it's a passion even for junk journaling, but this joy that I get from making it. But in my brain, I'm like, I can bless more people with cards. And I know sometimes you just have to make. And I know that journals bless people. But in my head, I always think to myself, oh, I could spend my time making a journal today, or I could spend my time making cards. If I make cards, I could bless more people. That is my thought process. So it's not that one is better than the other, because it's not. They're different. They're two different things. But those are the thoughts that go through my pea-sized brain. I think part of it is because I started card making so that I could bless people as a ministry to uplift people. I love donating my cards to different causes, you know. There's so many organizations that love to get handmade cards. I think that's definitely part of it. I think we need a darker pink if I have one, or can find one. I don't know. Ooh, let's use this one. Just tap in a little bit of darkness. On Craft Roulette last night, they vetoed soot. And T and I were like, we like soot. We like grunge. Be interesting to add a little soot. To this situation. Just for the fun of it. Just because they veto it doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means you don't have to do it if they land on it. You thought the lemons were deformed leaves? Those are, yeah, they're lemons. One way I knew that they're lemons is because there was another lemon in the stamp set over here. And I was like, oh yeah, that is a lemon. Okay. And then it's talking about life, and we all know it likes to chunk some lemons. This marker's about dried up. I've thrown away some Copics because they're dried up. I'm going to donate them instead to my Creative Reuse Center, I decided. Whoops. And not throw them away. I know that's a waste. It's just I'm not going to buy refills. I'm not playing that game. So I'm just going to donate them instead. I don't know. I just don't want to sit around and refill markers. That's, look how just refilling my ink pad went. It's pretty costly, and I don't see a big difference between them and any other marker. So I'll just, these Spectrum Noirs, I don't know if you can still buy them, but I've had these since 2017, and I've only had one or two dry up. They really hold the ink for a long time. I would say that they're a great investment. Let's make some yellow flowers. And Copics are a great investment. I'm not saying they're not. Um, they are. Go ahead. I just didn't anticipate that they would dry up on me so quickly and that I would need the refills so quickly. I just say any Copic that you buy, just go ahead and buy yourself a refill at the same time. You're going to need it. Hey, Kristen. Oh, the smell gives you a headache. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting that way with acrylic paints. I want to use them so bad, but I've become really sensitive to the smell, and it is not a pleasant experience for me anymore. So I understand. And I'm sorry. I know it's a total bummer. Let's not color more than we need. Let's probably pull these 4 from the pile. I'll save those others. Or put one, I might put them on the inside or something. Different markers might have different levels of odor, but I definitely understand. Now I can use my acrylic markers. They don't have the same level of odor as if I use acrylic paint, but I have noticed I don't do well with acrylic paint anymore. But I think different brands, like the craft brands, are the ones that I noticed the biggest issue with, but maybe Liquitex or like maybe an artist one, I wouldn't have as much. It probably just all depends on the brand. It might even depend on the color, because they have to put in different amounts of pigment and all the whatever chemicals they use to make acrylic paint. It's basically plastic, liquid plastic. It can vary based on color. Like when making any paint or pigment. Well, there's always watercolor. Yay for that. And I have never encountered watercolor with an odor. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I haven't encountered it. Yeah. Oh, the tri-blends. I've been interested in those. And then there's another brand that came out, the Olos or whatever. I've never tried any of those. Ohuhu wanted to sponsor a video of mine, and they sent me some of their markers, and I really like Ohuhu's. They're not refillable, and the issue with Ohuhu's is you really do have to like swatch them out. But I've noticed that their marker tops have gotten a lot closer to the colors. It's not exact, and it's I wouldn't say it's exactly dependable, but it's a great marker, great price. The only thing is you can't buy them individually. I don't know if you can buy the tri-blends. I don't know how those are sold. But yeah, I really like the Ohuhus. I like the Spectrum Noir. I mean, the Copics are nice. It's just you have to be willing to refill them. And I'm not. I kind of bought them because I had my Spectrum for so many years. I just expected that they would stay juicy for a long time and I wouldn't have to refill them. And it's just a different make, a different model, a different company. And I guess I learned the hard way that that was not true. Also, if you're interested in Copics, what I would suggest is I bought a small rainbow. I just bought a curated rainbow, basically. I didn't buy them all or anything. Okay, we have some flowers. We have some things. Let's put it all together. I am not the authority on alcohol markers. I'm not the authority on anything but my children. Even then, it's kind of a mixed bag. I share the responsibility with my husband and God, so something like that, I'm thinking. Okay, let's cut this down to size. I'm liking it. We've got our arch. We've got some flowers. It's pretty. Let's cut this down to 7 inches. There we go. Again, I'm just using a cheap index card from Amazon, by the way, as my card front. I figured that out. Like, I wanted some 5x7 card fronts, but I didn't want to cut expensive paper because paper has gotten expensive. So I was like, hey, maybe I can buy some index cards that would work. And what do you know? Lo and behold, I did. I paid like $12 on Amazon and got 200 of these or more. I can't remember how many. So, yay. Okay, and then I was talking about these, bringing in maybe some of these cuties. I printed these up to make ATC cards for craft roulette for paper Ganza. And this girl makes me real happy. She's a cutie. So let's use her. These are from Sweet Pea Curiosities, and these are not printed on photo paper. I've been trying out a new paper, you guys, that is cheaper. Let me get it. Now, I was at Walmart last night, and that was one of the errands I had to run, and they were sold out at the time, but I get it from Walmart. It's called Pen and Gear. This is cardstock, 100 sheets, 67 pounds, and I have printed quite a bit on it, and I think it looks good. Now, what I've chosen to print on this is grungy stuff, because I figure grunge is grunge is grunge. So, these were printed on it, as well as these little darlings. And I say it's good. It's not photo paper. Don't expect photo paper results, but it's good. It's good. I'm a fan. I like it. Okay, so this is Sweet Pea Curiosities. I've linked it before. I will link it again. It is like Butterflies and Rainbows, I think is what it's called. It's one of her newer kits. So when you go on Etsy and you go to Sweet Pea Curiosities, you should be able to find it pretty easily. But I think we're going to put that darling right there. And now we need our interjection. So y'all help me. We'll create a custom sentiment. Give me a word. I would love for it to be 80s. I'm also thinking, I saw this really cute bag at my grocery store the other day that said, I live in Texas. If you couldn't tell from my accent and my ways. But the bag was a rainbow and it says, y'all means all. And I was like, imprint into brain. I really liked it. Y'all means all. It's Pride Month and all. Rad. Is she saying rad though? I love rad. I love gnarly. Totally tubular. I mean, there's so many great 80s um, interjections. Rainbows, butterflies, and umbrellas. Thank you, Sala. Yes, that's because there's little girls who are holding rainbows. There's little girls who are holding butterflies. And there's little girls who are holding the umbrellas, which y'all saw me make that card. It's already gone, but you saw me make it. My cards don't stay around much anymore. They're getting gobbled up these days. Let's see. I'm going to Google 80s, 1980s interjections and see what happens. Oh, you can't say that on my channel, sir. No. Tubular, gnarly, awesome, bodacious, rad. Gag me with a spoon. Duh, bogus, not even. Cowabunga, dude. Oh my gosh, I love all these. Zap, for sure. Sweet. Oh, I like sweet. Oh, I have someone here. Hold on, y'all. Hold on a second. BRB. I'm back. I'm back. Okay. I like sweet, John. I think she is sweet. It's not the 80s that I was going for, which is okay. But I can see it. I can see it and I like it. Let's pull out my $2 stamps. Bye, Zane. Did I say? I don't know. It's hi and bye, Zane, but I'm so glad you were here. Thanks for joining. Maddie, it was my sister-in-law. They're so excited. They're going to get their brand new car. I'm so excited for them. Okay. Sweet. That's how it is in my head. Ooh, look, we got an exclamation point. Good job, John. Kiss your brain. Does the order of the stamps bug anyone else? Oh, Angie. You know. A and B. Oh, sorry. A and B and C. They're here. The whole gang's here, I think. I mean, seems like it. Now, one thing you have to watch with stamps like this is that you can catch the corners, but we're not going to worry about that. If I was a perfectionist, but I'm not. I'm a recovering perfectionist, so I'm good with it. Sweet. This one even has a blemish. I think I just cleaned it off. I did. And then Need the exclamation point. Maybe we'll put a couple on there. Okay, we'll do 3. Sweet. Looks like cuss words. The F is way down here. The F is out of order. The F usually is out of order. Sometimes the flashing on the corners adds character. That's right. Oh boy. Okay. Just knocking my card around. I actually really like this Glad bag they put it in. Oh, it's a Ziploc, but whatever. It holds it quite nicely. Can't go wrong with the alphabet for $2. I'm just saying. And if you have time on your hands, you could put it in order and everything. Okay, sweet. Now, if someone will just come over and submit this card to Craft Roulette for me, that would be great. We're going to put that right there. Oh my God, I love it. This makes me so happy. Yeah, the set's great. I think it's made for kids, which is cool. I bought my kids alphabet stamps. I used to have them practice their spelling with stamps. I since gave those away and then bought more that set for $2, even though I already had one at one point. But that's okay. I just thought it was fun for them to sit and stamp their spelling. There's another way to practice spelling. Make it fun. Stamp it out. Oh my goodness, I love this card. Craft Roulette is really fun because I always end up making something that maybe I wouldn't have made otherwise. And it's just a way to give you some prompts to make something new. But the community is just so fabulous. If you're looking for a community, a paper crafting, card making community to join, it's just wonderful. See, and all those flowers detract from the fact that I did not cut this evenly. It's like wide over here and narrow over there. The flowers are going to fix it. Flowers fix a lot of things. Flowers are like the Band-Aid, of the beautiful Band-Aid of life. I saw something the other day that made me really sad, and I'm going to work on it in our life, and that is that most men do not receive flowers until their funerals. Ever thought of that? Sad. So I'm going to send my husband flowers. I'm going to make it a mission to start sending that man some flowers. He deserves them. But yeah, most men don't receive flowers until their funeral. And we just can't have that going on. Not on my watch. Besides, we're like spending our whole life together. So I'm just not going to let that happen to my hubby. I'm going to send that man some flowers. He put together our home gym the last 2 nights after work. Maybe I should send him some flowers for that. I am taking him to get some fish next week. Mixed reviews, Sandy? Oh. Well, maybe I won't send him to his work. He does work with a bunch of brutes. I actually really like one of the guys. Actually really like two of the guys that he works with. They're nice. But I think by and large he works with a bunch of brutes. So they might clown him and all, and I wouldn't want that to happen. He has, after all, for the last like 6 years, built me my secret garden. Our entire yard is like, it's especially now because it's been years, it's become the secret garden. It's just fabulous. Oh, let's glue this down. My husband likes blue flowers. Like when he plants, he's always looking for blue flowers. There's this plant, oh geez, I'm not going to be able to recall what it's called right now. But he loves it, but every time we plant it, it just dies. And then he'll drive around the neighborhood and other people have it and it's doing fine in their yards and he gets a little jealous. But yeah, he likes blue flowers. My father had a favorite flower. It was a sunflower. So every time I see a sunflower, I think of my dad. He used to always plant them. Let's put a little grunge on here. Let's put a little soot. Grime. Sweet. Oh my God, I love it. See, I would have not pulled out these oldies but goodies and used them if it wasn't for Craft Roulette this week, you guys. And one thing I really do like to do is do like vintage dies in unexpected colors and unexpected ways. Pull out your vintage like shabby chic or really detailed dies and use them in an unexpected way. So maybe you have one like this. This is a Spellbinders Amazing Paper Grace. Oh yeah, I always like her stuff. You know, oldie but goodie, and you're going to see it most of the time used in a way like this, but look how we used it. Just change up the colors. It's fun, it's unexpected. Let's put this on a card. We're not going to have a border this time. It's going to go edge to edge. Yay! Lovely. I introduced my daughter to Diana Ross yesterday. We had a Diana Ross class. And now I can't get her music out of my head. I felt like I had been slipping. She's 12 and I hadn't introduced her really properly to some of the queens like Aretha or Diana or some of the amazing female artists. And we're going to fix that. Okay. Sweet. I have a Craft Roulette card. What time is it? It is 9:09. Let's play with Motown for the win. I was raised on Motown Flow. It is what my dad listened to. I grew up with Motown. So yeah, definitely like my favorite is Bill Withers. One of my favorites is Bill Withers, but I love all Motown and funk and jazz. I like some blues, lots of reggae, hip hop. I love music. Okay, let's let's just keep the party going. I'm gonna cut out, did I not do Little Rainbow Girls? Not really. I did Butterfly Girls. All right, that's fine. Let's make ourselves some, well, it's not for me, it's for Paper Ganza, but let's, ooh, 16 ATC cards. I'm thinking about incorporating some of this 80s scraps that I have now. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm going to grab a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. Let's see, I'm searching. There's a sheet. I wanted to get a sheet of paper that I wouldn't use otherwise. I love using paper like that. So this is not really a piece I'm going to pull most days to use. Another thing you can do is pull out your calendar. You know, last year's calendar, if you kept one. And you could definitely, you know, use it as a base, a 12 by 12 base. Okay, but what I'm going to do, I think, is just cut this in strips and try to cover this base with strips. So let's do that. I have a black thumb, so no green stuff for me. Aww. Yeah, I call my husband Dr. Shrub because he does have to like save our plants sometimes, or we just end up replanting. We're good now. We're in Central Texas and it's hot and plants just suffer here. That's a big part of it. They get neglected. We also often end up in, what do they call it? We often end up in water restrictions. So even if we wanted to water, we can't, kind of thing. And that's not good for plants when it's 105 degrees for 100 days in a row. Sometimes it's not you, it's nature. So I'm just cutting this down in strips. As I'm doing it, I'm thinking I probably should cut them the same size. But I'm giving myself different sizes. Oh man, yeah, Motown is just delightful, isn't it? I'm glad I was raised on Motown. Y'all know that Soul Train birthday card? Maybe you remember it, maybe you don't. My friend took it. I let her have it because she's my friend, but it was hard to let that one go. It was a birthday card that has City in the backdrop and a table with a birthday cake on it, and then two people who looked like they were straight out of Soul Train dancing. Oh man, I am so thankful I grew up on the Temptations, all the fabulous artists of that era. I know, Maddie, it was hard to let it go, but she really wanted it. She loved it. How can you say no? It's like, well, I'll just have to. Hopefully, I took a picture of it. I don't know if I did or not, but I remember it in my head. Whoops, wrong blade. There we go. Okay. I'm not going to cut all the paper, all the paper, but definitely got lots of strips going on here. Oh, Linda, I would get so excited about Soul Train. I wanted to I would dance and sing and just watch with complete excitement every week. Soul Train. Good times, good times. The girl images, glad you asked. It's Sweet Pea Curiosities on Etsy. If you search shops on Etsy, you'll find her, Sweet Pea Curiosities. I have her linked too in my sheet load video from this month. And I have a number of videos where I use her stuff. I love Marisa is the name of the shop owner. I just adore her and all of her images, all of her stuff. So you'll see her stuff on my channel quite a bit. All right, let's just play around here. And I'm not going to be real fussy or anything at all. I know I can be a little fussy sometimes. But I'm just going to randomly kind of glue these down and create myself a background. So I'm eventually going to take this background and cut it into 12 pieces. And I'm making artist trading cards to trade at Paper Ganza. And I think I will leave some of the black in here because that's very 80s. And I probably cut more strips than I need, but that's okay. I can save these and make another sheet if I want to. I think I have like 3 sheets of this paper, of this particular pattern in that paper pad. So, you know, in your paper pads, when you find a sheet that's a 12 by 12 and it'll say something like a big sentiment, or it's obviously made for scrapbooking, you can do things like this with it. I'm gonna cheat. Put some of these long strips across here. I think it's cheating anyways. Oh, Sala, thank you so much. There you go. Thank you, dear. I just adore you. Not because you add links, but for all the reasons. Then you can even cut these off and use them again. Maybe not that little pink piece, but these pieces you could use in nooks and crannies if you needed to. Oh boy, I'm going to make a mess. I can already tell. Everything is stuck to me. All right. Let's get some purple. Now, I cut some of these, see, the same width, so I could connect pieces as well. And I did 2 different widths. I did a 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch pieces. So yeah, let's connect the purple and the yellow. I was cutting scraps of 8.5 by 11, and I knew I was putting it on, you know, 12 by 12 paper. So I knew I would have to be connecting pieces like this. See, so we'll trim this off. And I'm going to keep these pieces because they're long enough. See, I can stretch it across here and put some purple up there. This feels very 80s, y'all. Oh, good. I'm so glad you got some inspiration, Linda. There are some inspiring people in this chat, I have to say. How do you submit your card to Craft Roulette? Well, first of all, let's talk about a little more about Craft Roulette because this live is kind of dedicated to Craft Roulette. Well, submitting your card is very easy. Again, this goes back to Mr. Producer being an incredible producer. He's built an incredible website, and everything he touches just is golden. So they make it very easy. There's a tab, you know, you go on craftroulette.live, which is a website. Just Google craftroulette.live. I'll leave it later. And there's like submit a contribution, and anybody can submit a card. Your granddaughter can put in a card, your husband, your mom, your neighbor. Anybody can submit a card to Craft Roulette. First of all, it's open to everyone. It does need to be like family friendly. So, you know, for instance, with interjection being the element this week, no cussy words for Craft Roulette because it's a family show. They do have families that watch and participate, and, you know, they want to keep it family friendly, which I totally respect. I don't like them not lining up. So let's find, hopefully I cut a piece of that at the same width. Not really. This goes back to I was cutting randomly. That's better. I can handle that. So that's like the main rule, I would say. Like, first of all, you try to use all 4 parameters. And you don't pick 2, you don't pick 3, you do all 4. And there's a million ways really to play along with it and use the parameters. You can be as creative as you want to be. It doesn't have to be very linear is all I'm saying. Like, it can be very abstract the way you get to using those parameters. And yeah, you'll just take one picture of your card and you can submit. anybody can do it. All right, we need, ooh, let's get some green in on this. Let's do some green. And we might even put some paper going the other way. There's no rules here. We're gonna cut this up, remember? So it's not gonna be like one continuous piece. I don't kick puppies or old people. Other than that, I don't like to limit my options. Well, Sala, I'm very happy that you've got your priorities. I don't like to limit myself either, but that's what's cool is that it does kind of like, first of all, forces you to think outside the box, which some people live outside of the box and some people have to be pulled outside of the box. And also, it makes you revisit your stash in a new way. And just about anything can be justified. They're not really... They joke about Craft Roulette Police, Miss Heidi Robbins, but like, all they're doing is making sure you use all 4 parameters. Whatever way you want, but just use the 4 parameters. Okie doke. What other color do we need next? Let's pull in some more purple. Purple gets a bad rap. What is it? Why is purple so divisive? I don't understand. It is fun. Hey, Gwen. Yeah, it's 6:10, the gallery starts. And what the gallery is all the submissions from the week before. So you get to see what everyone else submitted. And it's like 400 cards, y'all. Like sometimes there's like 400 cards. And if ever you need inspiration, even beyond the parameters themselves, you can see the gallery from every week. And you can see 400 different card makers take those same 4 parameters and make something completely different. It is so cool to see people's brains doing the kind of calisthenics that they do. It is just fun. Fun, fun, fun. And there's all these inside jokes and things that you'll pick up over time. There's definitely a whole, I think Mary calls it a culture. There's a whole culture behind it. It's more than just, you know, went the wrong way. But yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Let's go here with this one. And let's do some of these skinnier strips, and let's maybe add some of the small pieces. Let's put this piece in here. Those are kind of the same, close enough. Who's calling me? My mom's calling me. Ooh, let's put the yellow down here. Where's the neon orange? That is a good question. I don't know. I don't know if I have neon orange. I mean, I probably do. Maybe. But you're right. It's missing. It doesn't deserve that kind of treatment. On Craft Roulette, there is this whole dynamic of Team Orange and Team Purple. Speaking of, what did purple ever do to people? I don't know. Purple people eater? Is that why people don't like purple? May have just figured it out. I think we might have just workshopped why people don't like purple. Purple people eater. It's traumatized people since childhood. Now I know. We just solved that mystery. And they just may not like the color. But I think it goes back to purple people eater. I think everyone's brain says, no, that color eats people and we can't have that. Pam, hi. Gotta let the dogs out. Who let the dogs out? Pam, Pam, Pam. Okay, don't worry, guys. We're going to get to the end of this. Don't you worry. Yes, Diane. She says, collage, the art of cutting up perfectly good pieces of paper and gluing it onto another perfectly good piece of paper so we can cut it into smaller, perfectly good pieces of paper. And there you have it. These were scraps. I mean, they were perfectly good scraps, of course. Scraps are amazing. My solid cardstock scrap envelope needs some relief, so it's a good thing I'm using them. Ooh, we're almost back to just being able to run a whole color across. Ooh, let's bring in the green. Ooh, look, we could double it up. We might have to go back with some of my skinny scraps and double some of these. Ooh. Ah. If you watch Craft Roulette, you know. If you know, you know. But yeah, we could double some of these. There's too much pink right there. Ooh, can't have pink on pink either. Ooh, okay. All right, let's just glue some of this down. Whoa, I've got pieces. We'll do that layer later. And maybe I'll look for some neon orange. I don't know if I have any, but I'll look. What time is it? Oof, we got to book it, y'all. I have to take my son to get his haircut at 10:30. Oh my gosh. What time? I was taking him to get his haircut and a guy rear-ended me in our neighborhood and like no airbags deployed. And the guy, it was a hit and run. He was a moron. Anyways, I think he was high or he had drugs. I think there was something going on there. Anyways, we just went ahead and went on to our hair appointment. I was like, I'm not rescheduling that. The guy already did a hit and run. So I just talked to the cops on the way to the on the way to the barber shop. I'm telling you, once I get something in my head, it's over. It's going down. It's going to happen. Okay? If I'm supposed to go to the barber shop and get my son's haircut, I'm going to the barber shop, y'all. We were a few minutes late. I was like, sorry, Matthew. That's the guy who cuts my son's hair. I was like, we were in a little fender bender, hit and run on the way over. He's like, and you came anyways? And I was like, well, yeah, we had an appointment. Once it's going on and it's going down, it's going down. We all had a good laugh about that. I had to call my husband after I talked to the police, and I explained what was going on, and he's like, and you're at the barber shop? And I'm like, yep, young Z's getting his hair cut. Purple, purple, purple. All right. Ooh, let's use this scrap. Hi, Nima. How's it going? We've been making craft. I made a craft roulette card, Nima. Can you believe it? It's been so long. I mean, when I say so long, it's been a little while, but maybe not so long, you know, a couple of months, maybe 2 months, maybe less. I'm not really sure, but I made a craft roulette card. I'll show it to you in just a minute. We're using the scraps from that card. Doesn't this look like 1980s? And we're going to make some ATC cards for Paper Ganza. It's a craft roulette day around here. Okay, I definitely cut more scraps than I needed, but that's okay. I'll use those somehow, some way, someday, not today. All right. Clean up all that. All right. Looky there. That's very 1980s. Okay, I did really like the idea of running. See, the pink just keeps lining up with other pinks a little too close. Ooh, but I really do like this whole situation where the more narrow pieces get layered on top like this. Yeah, I like that a lot. So let's do some of that. Fruity Pebbles, yum. Oh, I love Fruity Pebbles, unless they get mushy, and they get mushy so fast. Is that why I eat so fast? Is it all Fruity Pebbles' fault? I want to cut this straight. I don't have anything else at an angle like that. I'm gonna cut that straight. All right. Is it all Fruity Pebbles' fault? Okay, I'm just gonna put that one right there. Got a little yellow strip. We can pop that right there. I have to bring back some of those. Where did I have that? I think I had it right here. Gonna have to bring back some of those scraps, you guys. The skinny strips. I like them layered on there. I like that. All right, here's some purple. Let's put that right there. If you missed it, we figured out why people don't like purple. Purple people eater. Don't sing that song to children. They may grow up not liking purple. Ooh, yeah, that sounds yummy. Fruity Pebbles don't get, right? And Rice Krispie treats, probably the best way to eat them. Okay, let's see. Oh, guys, we went to the movies on Thursday night. Went and saw the new Karate Kid. I keep trying to use pink. I can't use pink. All right, let's pick another color. How about this? Nope, not the green. I've got too many colors, but this is where we need orange. Let me look for orange. Let's see if I have neon orange. The problem is I don't have a lot of orange. To be fair, I don't have a lot of purple either. Ooh, I found a sheet. I have one sheet. Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to cut this thin so it can go over some of these other pieces. I found a way to work it in. Orange was not left out after all. Let's do some that are even smaller. Just a couple. All right. Yeah, we went and saw, hey, Ave and Karen McCoy. Hello. We went and saw the new Karate Kid. I think it's called Karate Kid Legends or something like that. It was good. That one little strip right there, throwing my whole orange game off. It's too wide for all these other spots. Okay. It's all right. Johnny, does anybody here watch Cobra Kai on Netflix? Johnny, the original Johnny from Karate Kids, is so funny. And they only had him at the end. I'm so glad they brought him in, even if it was just at the end. But Johnny is like my favorite character of Cobra Kai. And I adore him. He makes me laugh nonstop. I'm Team Johnny. Team Eagle Fang. Anyways, he had a little cameo at the very end of the movie. Is that a spoiler alert? I'm sorry, spoiler alert. Ugh, my husband would be like, you have no movie etiquette. And he would be right. My kids would be saying, Mom, right now. You just ruined their life. I can't believe you told them Johnny has a cameo at the end of the movie. Okay, let's put a little. And then they'd also be like, Mom, that's not what I sound like. We're at that stage of life where our daughter points at us and laughs at us. When I say us, I mean her father and I. And nothing we say is right. We're at that stage of parenting. Don't be jealous. It's fun. We all laugh. We all have a good time. Oh, thanks, Flo. You know who I miss and I haven't seen in ages? Miss Dee Dee. I need to put her in my late night shuffle. Okay, you guys. that is our paper, and I really like it, and I like it with these funky layers. So let's cut this into artist trading cards. We're going to make a few. I'm not going to be able to make 16. Okay. I'm not even going to be able to make 12. I mean, I'm going to make 12 from this paper, but I'm not going to be able to finish and complete 12. I'm just too busy. Too busy. 2.5. So we're going to cut that to 2.5. What's getting caught? Something's getting caught. All right. Cut this to 2.5. 2.5 by 3.5. That's the dimension of artist trading cards. Ooh, I love our 80s paper. That is so nice. All right, look at this, man, with those layers, those skinny layers on top. That's the look right there. 2.5 by 3.5. Okay. So cool. And I like the scraps too. All right. And on the back, I'll write my information, and I might write episode 270, inspired by episode 270. All right. Thanks, Linda. I like it. See, but this is because I'm an 80s child. 2.5 by 3.5. Just keep saying that to myself. Ruh-roh. Let's fix this. Can't have that going on. Not allowed. Okay. Oh, that fell off. Let's put that back on. Might want to glue your strips within an inch of their lives so you don't lose pieces. Nodding off here. It's almost 1 a.m. Die. Go get some sleep. Sweet dreams. Good night, sweetheart. It's time to go. Hi, Debbie. I made it with scraps of paper for 80s, 1980s. Okay, let me show y'all my craft roulette card, which we made at the beginning of this live. Dun, dun, dun. So I had die cut out of neon colors this die, and so I had all these scraps, and we made this card for craft roulette. If you want to see the whole process, you can go back. And then we took those scraps from that die cutting and made this 1980s ATC cards with some 12 by 12 paper that I wouldn't use otherwise. Yep, 12 of them. You get 12 cards for one 12 by 12 sheet. Like magic. Okay. Let's bring in our gals. Let's see. I think I want to use these other ones. There's my girl. She's been rolling in the mud. Okay, let's see. I think I'll trim these out with my paper trimmer. Isn't that fun? Some 80s paper. Okay. So one of the craft roulette terms, as I was saying earlier, they have a lot of inside jokes and terms and things you'll figure out the more time you spend over there. But one of them's glitter fairies, which is all the sweet people just like y'all who leave encouraging comments and lift each other up. Mary calls those in glitter fairies. So my ATC cards for Paper Ganza is all about glitter fairies. And these are going to be my little glitter fairies. What is Paper Ganza? Paper Ganza is an upcoming paper crafting event hosted by Craft Roulette in Kansas City, Missouri on like June 27th. And I'm going, and I'm making like 150 artist trading cards to share. I basically want to have one for everybody. And yeah, they're going to have like card making classes and cropping. They're going to have food, which is always exciting. They're going to have a live on the Friday night. There will be Craft Roulette live from Paper Ganza. I'm a special correspondent. I will be going live on their platforms with interviews and moments from the event. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Tickets are sold out, unfortunately. I know Kat was trying to get one and everything, but they are sold out. I have a feeling there will be another. I have a feeling this is the first but not the last of Paper Ganza. And everybody kind of gets a virtual seat on that Friday night. I'm going to go ahead and cut all these girls out because I don't know which ones I'm going to want to use yet. And I'll end up using them all because I think I have 30 or 40 artist trading cards made for the event so far. Which means I have a whole lot more to make. Oh, Pam, you're going to be there. Yay. All right. Go let those dogs out. Take them on their hike. Have a nice hike. Get some fresh air. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. All right. Got the girls. I got my glitter fairies. Let's pick some out. I can't craft much longer, so let's do 4. I can easily fit 4 in my screen here. And so let's do 4. I really like the smiling girls. She's cute. Oh, she's so cute. I like these rainbow butterfly girls. Oh, she's smiling. Let's use her. Oh, she's adorable. Okay. What if we put gnarly or rad, or let's put a interjection on these cards? I can always stamp glitter fairy on the back. That's what I did on my last set. And I think I will fussy cut them out. I mean, I don't know. I actually kind of like them with the backgrounds. Gnarly. Here, I have some of my other, here's my other ATCC, and I put glitter fairy on the back that I've made for, there's some glitter fairies. Scrap girl, art girl. Ooh, we could bring those stamps back in. There's some girls. And these have fun, like, quotes. Art quotes. Yeah, I kind of, what do y'all think? I kind of like it with the background. I kind of like them square. Or do y'all like the fussy cut better? You let me know. Gnarly. Let's get some more of this. See, we can mat these on this scrap. I like them with the background too. Yeah, y'all all agree. Okay, cool. We'll do that. I agree. We're on the same page, my friends. Hey, Debbie, if you're still here, tell Larry hi. Tell Larry I said hi. Let's take her out. Let's keep, I know, I typically always, it's like one of my things is never like the others. It's just how I roll. Let's see. I need to go wake my son up, y'all. He's sleeping in because he and his dad were up late assembling our new home gym. Bitty Penny's gonna get ripped. Even the bird is laughing at that. I don't think I'm gonna get ripped. But I do like to rip paper. I've got some pink too. I've got all of the scraps still. Let's use some pink. Pop those little darlings right on there. These are fun. I think what I might do is pick some different ATCs real quick from our stash here that don't have as much orange. Because I happen to get some that have quite a bit of orange. Let's get some that maybe don't. Maybe they all have orange, even though I didn't put that much in them. Oh, this one doesn't have any orange, and this one doesn't, and this one doesn't. Okay. I don't know. I just feel like the orange will pop off of, yeah, those better. Okay. Put these to the side. Just makes them pop a little more. Bitty Penny with a new X. Yeah, we're gonna get fit. I hope. That's the idea. You guys, I'm gonna have to put up my BRB. I'm gonna have to go wake my son up. My daughter was up coughing last night, so she's sleeping in. Typically, my son is like miming me at my craft room door going, how much longer? On a Saturday because he wants me to make him breakfast. But that's not happening today. So I know he's sleeping. He hasn't come to ask me for breakfast. He's probably growing. He's almost as tall as his father now. We were leaving the movie theater on Thursday night, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're almost as tall as your dad. He's 14. He'll be 15 next month. Time flies. Oh, right. Once they're old enough to appreciate you. Isn't that the truth? All right. Okay, y'all can look at these little adorable darlings. I'm going to put up my BRB. I'll be right back. Y'all chat. There. Y'all chat it up. We're going to come back and put like gnarly or rad or some kind of 80s something on there. All right, guys. Oh yeah, Flo. He cooks when he wants to. When it strikes his fancy. Otherwise, it strikes his fancy to have mom cook. Okay. Did we decide on a sentiment? Probably not. Gnarly. Oh, thanks, Sonia. Yeah, I like him. First, my son followed his girlfriend. Then they broke up, and he met his wife after a year of suffering. Oh. Okay, let's finish off the Grinch, my matcha tea. And let's finish these cards. Maybe we'll use sweet again. That was so good, John Pounds. I might use sweet again. I just think these girls are sweet, and that's a good one. Let's see. I have that, I have to find it. I also have an abracadabra, and I have ta-da. Those are kind of cute. I'm looking for that stamp set that I used recently from Paper Smooches. This one. Let's see. OMG. Dude. You're the bomb. So I've already glued these down. I can't move them around. I'm going to have to find something that's like How about YOLO? You only live once. Does that work? YOLO. I love it. OMG. Let's do YOLO. You only live once. Has an exclamation mark. It's like they knew. Wait. YOLO. With the exclamation mark. That'll be fun. Unexpected. I figure that's what most people thought when they bought their ticket to Paperganza. Probably like, well, you only live once. This money's not going to spend itself. I'm going to Paperganza. So we'll put it on these. Whoops, I pushed too hard. My nice juicy Memento paper, ink pad. Whoops, I almost lost that exclamation mark pressing so hard. Oh no, you didn't. I love that one. Such a good sentiment for a thank you card. Like, oh no, you didn't. I can't believe you gave me that awesome whatever. I love that stamp set. Okay. It is an oldie, y'all. It's from Paper Smooches. I think they like took a break, came back. I don't know if they're still around. But if you want to know what it's called Slang Gang. And I was like, add to cart as soon as I saw it years ago. And I have loved it ever since. I'm really bad with acronyms, personally. I have to look them up. I'm like, what does that mean? When someone sends me one, I'm always like, wait, what? What does that even mean? And I have to Google it. And then I'm like, oh. Sometimes I get it, but sometimes I gotta look it up. So the only parameter we haven't hit here is the A7, but that's fine because it's fine. I'm not making craft roulette cards to submit. I'm making them to give at Paperganza. YOLO. We did it, y'all. Now, I am wanting to put flowers on these. I'm not going to lie to you. Dog snoring. Oh my gosh. My dog has been through 5 dog beds, y'all. 5. I went and got her another bed last night. That was another errand. I was only on Craft Roulette watching for like 30 minutes because I had a lot of errands I had to run. And one of them was to find Princess Phasma her new dog bed. Is she laying in it and snoring right now? No, she's not. I don't know. I'm about to give up. I think I need to take her to the store with me and be like, Princess, which bed do you choose? Oh my gosh, there's so many things to do. I did not see it, but I've been doing my own research, you see, because we've got 2 teenagers we have to enter. Well, one's not a teenager, but she might as well be. That we have to entertain while we're there. We're going to be gone for a full week on our trip. So I've been doing my own research. Oklahoma City has some things, quite a few things to do as well. So we're making that our 2 stops. And we're going to stop off in Springfield, Missouri has a 1984 arcade. We're going $10 a person, unlimited gameplay on old arcade games. You're going to have to pull me and my husband out of there. Only the pinball machines you have to pay for, and I loved pinball. They're an additional fee. The pinball machines are still cool, still exciting. Okay, I could totally see myself adding flowers to these. I really have to go, y'all. But was that last week, Angie, that she was talking about? I think somebody said that was last week, maybe. Is that when Amanda and her daughter were on? I've been out of the loop. My life is not as simple as it once was. Friday nights, they don't belong to me the way they used to. I could watch Craft Roulette like every Friday night, and I did for years, but I can't really do that anymore, and it's sad. I have to catch the replays. I woke up this morning and watched the replay with Crafty Al and her daughter Presley. So yeah, just thinking about adding some little black and white flowers. You still tell their flowers? I don't know. Bye, Sala. Thanks for everything. Have fun tea dyeing. You might already be done tea dyeing. That's always good. I already need to tea dye again myself. I've already used half the stack that I tea dyed last time. See, we'll just put some of these flowers on there like that. I like the flowers. I think I liked the colored flowers slightly better than the non-colored flowers. Let's color one up real fast. I should be going. I should not be sitting here coloring, but I think I will. Just real quick like. Throw some pink on here. Now, I stamped this image with Memento Tuxedo Black ink so that I could color with alcohol markers. VersaFine Onyx Black ink is for watercolor and water, not for alcohol. And Memento is for alcohol and not water. And some inks will do both. I don't have any of those inks. I don't have an ink that will do both. So I have to think about what kind of technique I'm going to do before I stamp out my images. Also, if you're going to stamp just a bunch, but you're not really going to color it, you can make a note on the back of your thing, on the back of your stamped image, like stamped in Memento, stamped in VersaFine, so that when you do come back to color it, you'll know what kind of materials you can use if you're not using an ink that can do it all. Okie doke. Yeah, on my own time, I'm going to have to come back in and add more flowers. I definitely like these with a few more flowers on them. Where was this one? I put it over here, I think. Okay, but you get the point. These are going to be 4 more ATCs done for my craft roulette stash. Yay. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun too. Soon you will get your free time back, Biddy Penny. I know, Maddie. Your kids are right on the verge of taking the car. I know. I'm not ready. Spending time with friends. Yeah. Oops. I'm not ready. I'm probably going to need some anxiety medication by the time that when that happens. Oh my gosh. I know, Angie. I know. I gotta go wake him up and make him breakfast and get that boy out the door. That's for sure. Okay. I just had to finish these. And let me show you the card. And anyone who came in later didn't get to see the card we made, you may or may not want to go back and catch that. See why I started early, you guys? Okay, last one. I'll finish these later. They could be done, but I may also finish them later. Okay, so 4 adorable little ATCs for paper organza, and YOLO stands for you only live once, just in case. Hey, I don't keep up with all that stuff, so maybe you needed to know that. So cute. And then this is the big card that I'm going to submit to Craft Roulette. And then I'll have all of these ATCs that I can decorate on my own time with those little girls. And they're already prepped, so that'll be easy. Well, I hope you guys had a fun live. We explored arches, or yeah, putting an arch on your card. In case you missed it, the parameters this week were A7, 1980s, interjection, and include an arch, which is why we talked about arches today. So there it is. That's it. That's everything. I hope you guys have a super awesome day. Oh gosh, I need to tell you this. This is my last live until next Saturday. I forgot to tell you, I will not be live until I've got to travel this next week for work. So you will see me next Saturday at 8 a.m. I hope y'all have a super awesome week. I'll have some pre-recorded videos for you. Some junk journaling, some card making, a little bit of everything, just like I always do. I love you bunches. I hope y'all have a super awesome week. I'm going to miss you so much, but I'll see you later. Thanks for spending your time with me. Bye.